all council members will all of the council members please come in the well so that we can get the meeting started? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Griffin.
Here.
Bishop. Conwell. Davis. Gray. Harsh. House Jones. Hudson. Jones. Casey. Palencic. Santana. Shaw. Slife. Starr. You have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you. Will everyone please rise for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We have a very packed house and busy schedule today. I'll make the following statement. Please adhere to this statement. This meeting of Cleveland City Council is a lawful meeting under Section 605.04 of Codified Ordinances. No person with purpose to prevent or disrupt a lawful meeting shall do any act which obstructs or interferes with the due conduct of such meeting. Members of the public are invited to speak only under the rules set by this council. Disruptions, including but not limited to speaking out of turn or making loud noises and loud utterances, are in violation of the rules and interfere with the due conduct of this lawful meeting. Such disruptions may constitute a misdemeanor and a violation of Section 605.04. Anyone who disrupts this lawful meeting in violation of the codified ordinances commits misdemeanors and is subject to prosecution. The following is the first and only warning. If this meeting is disrupted, I will gavel a halt to the proceedings and direct the assembled officers to escort any person participating in the disruption out of the chamber. Once persons participating in the disruption are outside of the chambers, the officers will close the doors and the disruptors will be handled as directed by the Director of Public Safety. The council proceedings will not begin again until those that participated in the disruption have left the chamber and the chamber doors are closed. Disruptors will not be allowed back in the chamber after the meeting resumes. Again, this is the first and only warning. Madam Clerk, please dispense with the journal.
By Councilmember Hudson, that the reading of the minutes of the last meeting be dispensed with, the journal approved. Seconded by Councilmember Davis.
Thank you. We're going to go slightly different pattern today because we have a lot of people that we want to honor. And we're going to start off with the presentations first. And as you can see, we have approximately 4 presentations. I'm going to do them in this order. First, we're going to hear from the We're going to hear first and foremost from the youngest boxing champion, lightweight champion of the world, Abdullah Mason. We're going to hear from him first. When we open up the well, if you come to the right, we're going to hear from Abdullah Mason first. Second, we're going to hear from University Circle, Inc., Chief of Police and their officers. Third, we're going to invite the presidents up from Zeta Phi Beta, the women of Zeta Phi Beta. And then last but not least, we're going to hear from the state champions, Glenville Tar Blooders, in that order. If the Mason family can join me up here, let's give them a round of applause. How you doing, man? Good to see y'all. Hey, man, what's up, bro? You want to start off when I do remarks, or you want him to just jump in? Okay. All right. Okay. Well, first of all, we want to honor this young man, and today is an evening of champions. And this young man actually came to our community meeting and got really involved with us a few months ago. And lo and behold, after he went to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, he has come back as the WBO World Lightweight Champion of the World. We all should stand up. Give it out a round of applause. So we'll go into Abdullah Mason, the youngest world champion in men's boxing today. Today is January 12th, 2026. This is in recognition of his extraordinary athletic accomplishments and for bringing honor and distinction to the city of Cleveland. Cleveland City Council proudly honors Abdullah Mason and the entire Mason family. And it goes on to say, on November the 22nd, 2025, in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, at just 21 years of age, Abdullah Mason captured the WBO World Lightweight title, becoming the youngest active male world champion. We need to get out a round of applause. Cleveland City Council commends Abdullah Mason for his historic achievement and celebrates the pride he brings to Clevelanders. He serves as a shining example of determination, perseverance, and greatness for people everywhere. Abdullah, on behalf of all of Cleveland City Council, and I also want to see if the mayor would like to join us, we honor you in the city of Cleveland. Brother, you make us all proud. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You want to move this up a little bit? Hold up, we're going to get him, make a couple of remarks. Going to make some remarks?
You want to say something?
Not really, but I mean, we just want to thank everybody for their support, and they've been supporting the boys since they were yay high doing the national fights all over the nation. So, you know, last I heard, he's really, 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 really good at boxing. So, last I heard that good people come from good communities. So y'all keep doing good. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Before I bring up Abdullah, you want to introduce everybody else in your team? Okay.
Yeah, so I'm the second youngest of the Mason brothers. This is the youngest, Ibrahim Mason. Raise your hand. And then we got Abdurrahman Mason, he's right above me. We got Adil Mason, the second eldest. Then we got Amir Mason, he's the eldest. I just want to give a huge thank you to everybody who was a part of making this happen. You know, the city of Cleveland, everybody who, you know, we've run across over the years, everybody who put their little hand in and allowed this to happen, you know. And now I'm now the youngest world champion, and this is just the beginning. So everybody that's been supporting and everybody that's just now finding out about who the Mason brothers are or who I am, I want y'all to start supporting now and keep supporting, because we got a long road to go, and we're going to need that support every step of the way.
Outstanding. Mayor, Councilman.
And one last thing, when I fight here in Cleveland, I want everybody, you know, to invite your whole family, you know, y'all baby cousins, y'all aunties, y'all grandmas, everybody. I want everybody to come out and support, because when I fight here, I want it to be a huge thing for Cleveland.
You want to say something?
Yeah. And some of the people, I didn't know they could have walked up, but some of the people that's out here, that's a part of this movement with us, they're out here in the audience. I want to thank y'all. Y'all know who you are. Y'all stand up. Stand up, Rich Bo. Where you at? Where you at, Kamal? Yeah, you go, baby. Some people couldn't make it, but thank you, guys. I appreciate you.
And I want to say this. I know we're giving Abdullah an award today, but ladies and gentlemen, doesn't this say volumes about Valiant Mason and what he's been able to do as a father and as a trainer? I want to give him a round of applause, too. On behalf of Cleveland City Council and the city of Cleveland, Councilwoman Gray, I know you're from the Buckeye area, so Councilwoman Gray, you got to make sure she...
Yes, I want to say something. This father, come up here. I met this father many, many years ago. He ran his own natural herb store in the Buckeye area. I just happened to go in there looking for natural herb soap. It was him, his mother, and these boys, they was this little. They were this little, and they were working in the store with the dad. So they helped me to get my herb soap, my herb lotion. So I bought from them for years in the Buckeye area, right there on 117th and Buckeye. That was their store. So I don't know how long. I still see their mom all the time in the neighborhood. But I watched these young men grow up to here. Then they end up going to Zelma George boxing upstairs in the boxing area with Romeo. So they came from an urban community, being supported by their dad, who put everything in his life for his boys. And look where they are today. And I seen the growth. I seen the growth. He's just a regular dad in the neighborhood, being a regular father, taking care of his boys. And this is a beautiful sight. When I seen him when I seen him in the building, I was like, oh my goodness, God is good. And this is what we need to have on the news so the other young men can see what they can have help with. Okay? So I love you guys. This is a true blessing, and we got to give them all the support they can get. Thank you. All right. All right. Appreciate you.
Pride of Buckeye. Here you go. Want to hold this? And then I'll hold this while you hold the championship belt. And y'all, we got some more from the back. Hold on, we got the official picture right here first. Want some basketball? All right, I'm going to have Councilman Kevin Conwell. We have officers from University Circle Incorporated. If they could join us up here with Councilman Conwell. Hi, how you doing? Good to see you, Officer Mercado. You spend a lot of time down here. What's the officer's name? I thought it was the guy that went to the prom. Okay, I thought that was one. How you doing? All right, we're going to bring up University Circle Incorporated. Mr. Wetzel could not be here, the Chief of Police for University Circle, Inc., but in his place, we have Officer Mercado and Councilman Conwell. The floor is yours.
All right, now we have our safety chair, Councilmember Mike Pelosi, so I'll do part of it, and then I'll check up on Tom when I get home. I'll reach out to him to see how he's doing. All right, because he had to go, so we pray for him also, and we respect the man in blue, the whole 9 yards, and thanks for your service. All right, this council, Tom is in here, where the members of Cleveland City Council are proud to recognize University Circle Police Department, UCPD, for its dedication to our community policing, compassionate service, and impactful youth outreach, especially through its strong involvement through the home of the mighty, mighty Top-Blooders, Glenville. Whereas UCPD has embraced an empathetic model of policing rooted in its servant heart philosophy, symbolizing the inscribed stone and its interests, works delayed to build trust through kindness, communication, and respectful engagement. The department has strengthened relationships within the Ward 9 through its partnership with Councilmember Kevin Conwell, that's me, whose community leadership and collaboration have supported numerous neighborhoods outreach efforts. That's the truth. And we're going to give it over to you to finish it up, Mike. Safety. All right. Right here. All right.
Yeah, I know.
Tom, not here, so I got to do it.
And whereas UCPD has created meaningful opportunities for youth through programs such as Cop Scouts, school art competition, academic recognition, domestic violence and gun safety education, and beloved events with students at Mary Bethune School. Yeah, yeah. And whereas community events like Jazz with a Cop, Coffee with a Cop, Shop with a Cop, neighborhood jam sessions, nature walks, and safety initiatives, many in partnership with Councilman Conwell, have strengthened unity and trust throughout the Ward 9 community and Glenville in general. And whereas UCPD continues to enhance public safety through proactive efforts such as the Child Safety Program, crisis support services, crime prevention initiatives, including the Catalytic Converter Anti-Theft Program. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the members of Cleveland City Council and the people of Cleveland recognize the University Circle Police Department for its heartfelt services, innovative community policing, and deep commitment to the residents and families of Ward 9 and the greater Glenville community. Be it further resolved that the Clerk of City Council and Clerk of Council hereby is requested to present a transmit copy of this resolution for proper resignation by Councilman Conwell and all members of Council. It has the appropriate signatures by the Council President and the Clerk of City Council. It is our honor to present this officially to you. Thank you very much. Come on up, say something.
Zeta Phi Beta. All right, we're going to keep on going. Like I said, we got a lot of presentations. I'm going to ask if we could open up the well for the presidents of Zeta Phi Theta. Zeta Phi Beta. Zeta Phi Beta. Where they at? Zeta Phi Beta. Here they are. All right. We're going to give the women of, and where's Janae Hambrick? If Janae Hambrick can join me too. Where's Janae at? Always got to make sure a good Ward 6 resident is here too. All right. We were privileged and honored. We do this with all of the Divine Nine groups that are here. For those of you who know, there are 9 different fraternity and sororities that claim to be part of the Divine Nine. And these ladies came down today to hear about Cleveland City Council and how Cleveland City Council operates. So let's give the women of Zeta Phi Beta a round of applause if we could. And as you can see, they're all standing. The Divine Nine organizations believe in more than just the colors that we wear. We all have an affiliation with each other. We all believe in community service. We all have mandatory programs that we're supposed to be doing in the community. So I want to commend these ladies, not just on how beautiful they look in this blue and white today, but also for all of their strong and firm commitment for the city of Cleveland and what they do to bring about social change, advocacy, encouraging people to vote. And I have to give a special shout out to my Ward 6 resident, Janae Hambrick, for really putting all this together. Thank you so much. I just brought up the presidents, but what I'm going to do is give each president an opportunity to say hello to you. But it basically says, whereas the members of Cleveland City Council wish to recognize and celebrate organizations whose enduring commitment to service leadership and community uplift strengthens the social and civic format of our region. And whereas Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated was founded on January 16th, 1920. Happy upcoming Founders Day. On the campus of Howard University, along with your Omega Psi Phi brothers, by the way, in Washington, D.C., as the sister organization of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. And I know Judge Johnson and others, and if they could stand with Phi Beta, born from the vision of women determined to create an organization rooted in purpose, progress, and principled action. It goes on to say, be it resolved that the members of Cleveland City Council do hereby extend their heartfelt congratulations to Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated in recognition of its enduring legacy of excellence, historic contributions, and unwavering dedication to service, scholarship, sisterhood, and the advancement of communities. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I will ask if any presidents would like to say a couple remarks, and then we'll take a picture.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, Gamma Delta Zeta Chapter,
Nu Theta Zeta Chapter,
and Gamma Alpha Kappa Zeta Chapter, we want to thank you for this honor and privilege to serve. You see 3 chapters, but we are united as one Zeta. We find it an honor and a privilege to serve and uplift the communities in Cuyahoga County. And we just want to continue to serve and honor and uplift the legacy of our 5 founders, the 5 Pearls. So again, we thank you, and we hope to see you out in the communities where we are serving.
Thank you. As we take a picture, can I ask if Councilman Starr and Councilwoman House Jones, if they could join us? Us D9 always stick together, so any of the D9, and of course, if the mayor would like to come, want to make the mayor, all of the D9 elected officials, if we could come up here and honor these young ladies. Here, I'm going to give these. Dave, you might have to move them around. Did y'all want them all out?
Yes.
Okay.
We all can hold them.
Now, y'all might have to look at the names. Look at the names. Thank you, sir. Here you go. And I had the sleeves here, so I'm just going to give y'all the sleeves, and y'all can sort them out after that, okay? Come on in, come on in. Judge JJ. Here you go. I got one more, whoever gets this one.
Oh, prepare.
Here you go. Here you got one more, and then y'all can put the sleeves on with them later. Thank you, Councilman. I mean, Judge, Councilman, sir, Senator. Thank you, sir. Hey, what's up? Here y'all go. All right. Mayor, you good? Yep. Oh, here, let me move this out your way. Hold up, excuse me. Let's give another round to the women of Zeta Phi Beta as they take their seats. And now, the grand finale, if we could open up the well for my Omega Psi Phi Incorporated brother, Ted Ginn, but most importantly, the head coach for the Division IV 2025 state champions, Glenville Tarblooders, if they could join us up here. And I'm gonna ask Ted to join us, and please open up the well for all of the Glenville team. All the Glenville team, come right here in the well. Councilman Jones, raise your hand. You got one for him too? You got one for him? And they can feel all up around, anywhere they want to go. What's up, man? Good to see y'all, man. Good to see y'all. My guys, good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. Congratulations. Fill up as much as y'all want, all the way around. All the way around. We got both sides. Fill all the way around. Good job, man. Good job. Good job. Turn it over to you and Conwell. Hand me this. All right, all right. Is mic on? Mic on? All right, we ready to go? All right, I'll tell them that. All right. Desiree, you stand up here with us? Okay, good. Councilman Conwell, come on over. I want you guys to know that you are the only ones that actually came in the theme music. I never seen that happen before. Well, first of all, before we bring up Councilman Conwell and Councilman Michael Polensik, who represent the area, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so proud of what these guys do on the field, but I have to say, what this man does and how he does the work on these men off the field is one of the most commendable models that I've seen in the history of Cleveland. So I want to give Ted Ginn Sr. a round of applause. These gentlemen are a great example of leadership and winners on the field, but they are even more exemplary champions off of the field. And that's because of the leadership of this man, his coaching staff, and his team. And he happens to just be an Omega Psi Phi Incorporated individual. So we are just so proud of you guys. And on behalf of Cleveland City Council, thank you for continuing to be a commitment to excellence. And I'm going to turn it over to Kev first, and then Councilman Michael Polensik.
What's up, Top Blooders? I'm so happy for the Top Blooders. You know, everywhere we go throughout the neighborhood, people are talking about Glenville Tar Blooders. And Ted Ginn School as well, the Ginn Academy. You know, I was thinking about this, and I have to say it because the Lord put this on my heart. Some of you, when you go to college and you graduate, you can always still be a part of the football community, basketball, whatever the case may be. There's a system in football, basketball, and baseball that we don't get a chance to see, and it's not open to us. Some of you, while you're there, you could be accountants. You could be a lawyer for the Browns. You could be in purchasing and procurement. You could be in finance for the Browns. When I visit Cleveland Browns, I saw all kind of systems, but I did not see us in there. So we need to have an internship there as well so that we can get meaningful jobs or meaningful benefits so that we can take care of our families as well. So when we see football, you see us on the field playing football, baseball, and basketballs, but when you go behind that closed door as a finance director or as an accountant, well, you know what I'm talking about. So we can dream there and do that too when we go to Ohio State, Bowling Green, and other colleges, and we can do that. And we could become interns. Even at Ohio State, when we're down there or Bowling Green, we could come back because they have $1 trillion system in there. And when I walked in through those doors, I didn't see us. I might be wrong, but I'm telling you, you can do that. Get your business degree, or like Star, he got a sports management degree, so he can go throughout the whole system. So I love you, and I want you to be able to do that as well. Okay? So my wife just touched me on the shoulder because I could go off and go off. I'm going to yield to Councilmember Mike Polensik, and then, hey, Mr. Mayor, you want to say anything also? Okay. So we'll let you do this. We'll do that.
Thank you, Kev. To Coach Ginn, the principal, the staff of Ginn Academy and Glenville High School, you know, this has been a historic partnership between Ginn Academy and the Glenville High School and the Glenville Tar Blooders. I don't have to tell anyone how proud we are, for this is the third, think about that, the third time state champions. 2025 OHSAA State Champion Division IV. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't have to tell anyone how difficult that is to get to that level of greatness in high school sports, high school athletics. But as Blaine indicated, the council president indicated, I'm at Ginn Academy quite a bit because it's just in my ward and it's not far from my home. Every time I come in the building, what do I experience? Young men dressed for success. Young men extending their hands saying, welcome to Ginn Academy. Welcome to Ginn Academy. The environment of the school is about success. just not on the football field. And I got to say that because so many of these young men I've seen on a regular basis. It's about winning in life. It's about succeeding. It's about becoming somebody. And with the help of the coach and his staff, we created, I funded that scholarship award every year to be somebody. But that's the kind of environment we have at Ginn Academy and then at Glenville High School. So it's my honor to have this official plaque that's been put together. He has so many awards at this point. I don't know where you're going to put them all, okay, brother? But it's nothing like winning in life. It's one thing to succeed on the football field, and these young men behind us have demonstrated time and time again, but it's about succeeding in life. And my dear friend, I can't begin to tell you how proud I am of you. I become a disciple of Ginn Academy and of Ted Ginn a long, long time ago when I walked that empty school building with you, and you told me in your dream and in your vision, this is it. This is the place I want to be. And you created one of the outstanding programs in the state of Ohio, right here on the northeast side of the city of Cleveland. So I want to present this to you, and I want to ask the mayor to come up and say a few words as well. Mayor.
A lot of great things have already been said. First, I want to shout out these young men for their amazing courage and leadership and bringing another championship to our city. And while I know many of us are waiting for LeBron to call it quits, and we have the LeBron James statue in downtown Cleveland, not many cities can say we've had 3 titles in the last 4 years in our city. So, Coach, when you decide to call it quits and retire from the game, we need a Coach Ted Ginn statue somewhere in Cleveland. Congratulations, Coach. We're proud of you, brother.
Bring up Ted. All right. Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to say that I want to congratulate each of the players here tonight for reaching their individual goal. I want to congratulate the team as a whole for collectively getting to your goal. And I want to thank the athletic directors, the teachers, CMSD, for all that they've done for these students, not just extracurricular, but academically. That is what Councilman Conwell spoke about. So I'm proud of you. County Councilwoman Yvonne Conwell is very proud of you, as I'm sure your families are. And so without further ado, I want to bring up Councilman Conwell again. I thought I had Ted. All right.
Sarah, we're going to have to get this to the man. You know, Ted Ginn pushes manhood and fatherhood, and that's very, very important. Good principles, great principles, and you teach them how to win, which is a great character. Many of these students, when they wake up in the morning and they went downstate, they were able to see themselves as winners. And that good character that you push, they'll be able to see that throughout their whole life and how to plan. And the skills that you and your football coaches are teaching them, let's say, is transferable. And that's very, very important, you know. So on behalf of Glenville, on behalf of Cleveland City Council, 374,000 residents, okay. On Cleveland City Council, and as well as Mayor Bibb, the Glenville High School and Ginn Academy, mighty, tar-blooded football team, 2025 OSHA state champions, 3-time state champions on December the 5th. And we got a few here, Ted Ginn. As a matter of fact, with the support of Mayor Justin Bibb, Cleveland City Council President Blaine Griffin, that's you back there, Cleveland Council Member Mike Polensik, Cleveland City Council Member Kevin Conwell, and Cuyahoga County Council Vice President Yvonne M. Conwell, Dr. Warren Morgan, CMSD CEO, Desiree Powell, CMSD Athletic Director, and we also say Principal Kendra Holloway. So, and from our city to you. So,
well, good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank the mayor, the council president, all the councilmen in the ward for all your support. You know, we really can't do this without y'all support, and that's real talk. You know, it's a lot of things that are going on in the world today. You know, we're living in a real tough situation with our children, and this is the only thing that we can engage with them to keep them in line, to help them become productive citizens. You know, the winning of the game is one thing, but winning their lives is another. That's cool, you know. The scoreboard don't determine our destiny. You know, when we win or we lose, it doesn't matter. You know, but this group of kids was different. You know, what they had to endure this year was nothing like the first, nothing like the second. The third was major. And to see them endure all the things we went through during the year, Lord have mercy, y'all really don't know. They seen some things that we have tried to hide from them over the years, but they faced that this year and they stood up. They stood up for this city, they stood up for our community, they stood up for our school board, and let them know where we came from. You know, what you expect is not what it is. And I'm so proud of this group, and they stood up for everyone in this room. You understand? And we represented every public school in America. You understand? Just a couple of things that I really want to talk about when you talked about just football. We have a lot of major kids that have stood up here before that's running the country. When I start thinking about, we got assistant coaches at Duke University. We got one of the #1 cameramen at the Cleveland Browns. You understand? You didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
You understand? We got head of security at the Cleveland Browns. He's a Glenville guy. Yeah, Jordan Buckley. You know, just a few things that you probably don't know. We got some of the top guys that's working in the front office at Wisconsin. We got some of the top guys working in the front office at Penn State. We got people all over the world that started right here, and they got their thing from here. It went through football, but they in the front office in a lot of major areas, you know. And one of the things that I think you all need to know as well, we have the #1 athlete this year. We got 5 guys that's not here. They're already in college. They did over $1 million NIL money. Give them a hand. You know, so we're just not doing this recreational. You know what I'm saying? These guys are making money and moving on in their life. We got the #1 linebacker or player that's going to be in the NFL draft in the top 5, you know, that came from Glenville. That's in the country now and on the dean's list. And more importantly, we got a senior that's already at Ohio State that left last week, the #1 linebacker in college football, coming out of high school, that's at Ohio State right now. So we just not making football players. You understand? We got the best in the country, and you read around it every day, and they right here. So please pay attention. You understand? And you know, like I tell the kids all the time, you understand, the tests come before the lesson, and we done went through a lot of tests, and God bless you all.
Everybody else filling behind. Council members, mayor.
Coach, put the Glenville on. Look at the Glenville side.
Come right in between your body. All right, if we could, as everyone takes their seat, we're going to get back to the business of council. Oh, here. And here's the, what's the name too? You got it? Okay, cool. All right, we're going to move now to the public comment portion of the agenda. Once again, all of the, we wanted to make sure that we got the young people back home at a reasonable time. So that's the reason why we moved this around, okay? And we will start out today. Remember to please adhere to your 3-minute time limit. And the first person we have on the list is Daryl Houston. Is Mr. Houston here? Can you hear me? The first person we have up for public comment is Daryl Houston. Daryl Houston is from Bedford Heights. He's here to talk about city issues. He's not representing anyone and not being paid by anyone. Mr. Houston, you have the floor.
First of all, Happy New Year, everybody. Today, I'm here to kind of express some concerns. You know, I kind of...
Excuse me, Mr. Houston.
Okay.
Everyone, could you please take any conversations outside and please be quiet while the speakers have the floor. I'm going to ask if our timekeeper can restart the clock. Mr. Houston, please proceed.
Thank you for that, sir. Appreciate that. This is for the mayor. Do you remember our conversation we had, sir? And we talked about a few things that we needed to change in the community. Well, I want to hold you to your campaign promises, sir. You gave me some promises, okay? You said clearly, in order to have a good team, we got to pay them the top dollar, right? Well, you are a very smart young man, but your cabinet didn't let you down, okay? And I'm hoping that you evaluate that, okay? I'm hoping strongly that you evaluate that, because I got 4 positions that I would like to see these people removed. It ain't no room for them. They had 48 months, and they gave us nothing, and they also let you down, okay? You are a brilliant young man, but your cabinet don't see your vision, okay? Chief of Operations, that's a sad situation there, sir. Utilities Commission, that's a sad situation there, sir. Your health chief, he's terrible, and I will be writing a letter to go after his license. He's terrible. No accountability whatsoever down here, sir, okay? None. And I'm not going 48 more months. And I hope that means something to you, because I'm not going 48 months. I done came down here for 18 months straight, and I done systematically talked to all of y'all nicely, and I done pointed out all the constitutional things that y'all not doing, right? And y'all won't move. So now, me and AI, we're gonna hang out. And I'm gonna see who sit here after I'm done, okay? Because I believe it's time for change down here. We got people been down here 40 years. We ain't getting no younger. We evolving, and we staying stuck. There's no economy here in the city of Cleveland whatsoever. You guys have put us in the swampland. Show me anything that y'all can develop down here for the community, job-wise. Y'all let the Browns get out of here, right? There's no revenue in the United States of America that could replace Sunday football money. That's guaranteed money, young man. Guaranteed. You can't find it nowhere.
Mr. Houston, time.
Thank you. I'll be back every Monday.
Thank you. Next, we have Latasha McFarland from Ward 3 to talk about the renaming of Manor Avenue in honor of Katie E. Brown. She is not representing anyone, and she is not being paid by anyone. You have the floor.
Good evening, council members, and thank you for allowing our family the opportunity to speak. On November 13th, 2020, our grandmother, Katie Brown, was 83 years old and was murdered in her home through a senseless act of violence. A loss like this is devastating and difficult to put into words. We are here today not only to remember how she died, but more importantly, how to, my iPad cut off, sorry. but more importantly, how to honor how she lived and to explain why renaming a street is a meaningful and lasting way to recognize a life rooted in love, family, faith, and selfless service. Our grandmother was a devoted mother to 3 children, a proud grandmother to 14 grandchildren, 22 great-grandchildren, and 4 great-great-grandchildren. But her love did not stop with her family. For over 46 years, Manor Avenue was not just her address. It was her home, the place where she built deep relationships, looked after her neighbors, and created a sense of belonging for those around her. She was the nucleus of our family and a true pillar of the community, so she so faithfully supported. Faith and foundation of Katie Brown's life, she loved God deeply and lived her faith through her actions. She believed there was a lesson in everything, whether joyful or painful, and she shared wisdom, encouragement, and guidance to those around her. One of the scriptures she lived by was Ephesians 4:32, calls us to be kind, compassionate, and forgiving. Our grandmother embodied those words every single day. Because of that love and compassion, her home became a safe haven for children, teenagers, and adults and those in need. She quietly provided meals, clothing, toiletries, and most importantly, dignity. She gave freely and never expected recognition for anything in return. No one has ever left her doorstep hungry, unheard, or unloved. Even on her last day on this earth, she has bags of clothing waiting by the front door to give to those experiencing homelessness. On the tragic day she was found, a child in the crowd asked, "Who's going to feed us now?" That question captures the heart of why this request matters. It reflects the role our grandmother played not only in our family, but in the daily lives of people in her neighborhood. She was a steady presence, a woman of remarkable strength, and someone who stood firm in her values. She protected those she loved, and when help when needed, it made people feel safe, seen, and valued. Renaming Manor Avenue is an honor of Katie Brown is important because it allows her legacy to remain visible, alive within the community she served for nearly half a century. For our family, it is a way to ensure that her life is remembered for the love she gave, not the violence that took her. For the community, it serves as a permanent reminder of what one ordinary person living with extraordinary compassion can mean to an entire neighborhood. This is not simply a sign street. It is about choosing to uplift her service over violence, love over tragedy, and uniting under loss. It's about giving future generations a name they can ask about, a story they can learn from, an example worth following. Council members, approving this request affirms that this community values those who give quietly, serve faithfully, and show up for others day after day. It ensures that Katie's Brown name will continue to stand for kindness, strength, and community and care long after today. On behalf of our family and her community and the many lives she touched, we respectfully ask for your support in renaming the street in honor of our grandmother, Katie Brown. Thank you.
Thank you, and please bear with us. We have a new system, so we're trying to work out all of the kinks with the new system, okay? Next, we have Ben Heidi from Kudale. Ben is here to talk about welcoming new members and civic symbols. He's not representing anyone and not being paid by anyone. Ben, you have the floor.
Hi, good evening. First and foremost, I think having the piano player to play off public commenters would be great. We should kind of run with that. Good evening, Council and Mayor. I've spoken to previous councils about the threat Cleveland's historic female-designed flag is under from outside Cleveland actors, and of embracing our original flag by adapting it for community recognition. However, that threat gained a new urgency this winter when the Ohio House passed House Bill 602, which would effectively ban pride flags from state agencies. Cleveland has the opportunity and now the impetus to take a stand for all its beautiful diversity, not just LGBT community members, but its vibrant Black and Latino culture, alongside Irish and Italian Americans and many other communities through the variations in the flag. The time to act has arrived. I also wanted to welcome Austin Davis, Tanmay Shah, and my new councilperson, an incredible community leader, Nikki Hudson. Across the world, social democrats have delivered for real gains for working people. In Vienna, social democrats expanded affordable housing by integrating mixed-income subsidized housing within the neighborhoods to slow gentrification. Barcelona's social democrats introduced participatory budgeting, so marginalized communities now have the power to shape their neighborhoods' futures. And social democrats in Nordic countries have long invested in job programs that incorporate workforce retraining, apprenticeships, unions, and employers to reduce unemployment and support transitions between jobs. It's time we brought that energy home. Delano Democrats are back, governing with working people front and center. For too long, Democrats have run on principle but without passion. In Trump, we see firsthand what passionate but not principled leadership looks like. Just imagine what we can do with the passion of social democrats combined with the principled leadership of our more experienced council members. Cleveland has a chance to light its own torch from the flame lit in New York with Mamdani's victory. I truly believe the blueprint for bringing this wave beyond the coasts may very well be created within these chambers. It starts with a respect for each other's strengths and your willingness to take a deep breath and challenge the limits of what we know to be possible. I know it's not realistic to ask for 100% agreement all the time, but try to remain civil in disagreement. And remember that your shared commitment to a better future is what fuels your passion. I wish you all great success this year, and may the voices of Cleveland's most vulnerable be your closest and most trusted advisor. Thank you.
Next we have Fauzi Badour. Fauzi Badour is from Ward 11. He's here to talk about the community. He's representing a coalition for a better Cleveland. He's not being paid by anyone. Fauzi, you have the floor.
Good evening. With all those great shows, I forgot what I was going to say. To the 12 members who got reelected, congratulations. You earned it. May God be with you, and God may guide you to apply conscience to all decisions you make and votes you cast. And the mayor too. To the 3 newly elected council members, Nikki Hudson, Tanmay Shah, and Austin Davis. I posted on Kudal and Edgewater your pictures that you took together, and I wrote over it my kind of counsel. Jay Westbrook commented on that, among others. He said, people in the 3 wards sent to council, focused, determined, and compassionate leaders. I add to this, with your permission, you come here with minds to lead, with conscience to guide, and with hearts to think, hearts to think. So proud of you. I'm so proud and so happy that I took part of your campaign. Nikki, I was honored to be part of your kitchen cabinet. Mayor Bibb, when started this journey to save Kudal Park over 30 months ago, we have reached solution with your involvement, and thankful for that the school will be built, and part of that land swap, but the other part should be returned to the city ownership to be again part of Kudal Park. It should have happened. It hasn't happened. I hope you can make it happen as soon. And I hope the 2 Kudal Council people here can follow up on that. The other things, with the gas station out of the way, 10022, it's the best time and best place to acquire it, whether buying it outright or by eminent domain is necessary, and build the fire station number 23 on it. Thank you.
Next we have Rebecca Fuller. Rebecca Fuller is from Ward 10. Rebecca's here to talk about Home for Every Neighbor. She represents Mastermind Property Management, and yes, she is being paid by Property Mastermind Management. Is Rebecca Fuller here? Rebecca Fuller. Is Rebecca Fuller? Is Rebecca Fuller here? Rebecca Fuller going once, Rebecca Fuller going twice. We'll move on to Terry Wong. Terry Wong is from Ward 8. Asia Town, Terry is here to talk about how corruption leads to disaster. Terry is not representing anyone and not being paid by anyone.
Hi. I'm going to talk about a different topic. Will Cleveland enforce its laws to protect its people? Over a year ago, I asked the same question of Cleveland's police leadership. The response I received was, "We will not cooperate with ICE." That answer is not enough. Not cooperating is not the same as enforcing the law. I'm not just asking whether Cleveland will help ICE. I am not just asking about cooperation. I'm asking whether Cleveland will enforce Cleveland, Ohio, and constitutional law when those laws are broken. We have already seen ICE detain people who are legally allowed to be in this country. We have seen ICE act outside its authority. We have recently seen ICE agents kill a U.S. citizen, a white woman, in Minneapolis. Cleveland has laws against unlawful detention and abduction. Cleveland has laws against excessive force. It has laws against violent crime and murder. Those laws exist to protect the people who live here, but laws only matter if they are enforced. So I want to be very clear about what I'm asking. If ICE breaks the Cleveland law, will Cleveland police intervene? If ICE uses unlawful force, will Cleveland police investigate? If ICE commits a crime here, will the city treat it as a crime regardless of the badge involved? And I'm not asking this only of the police. Will the Cleveland Law Department enforce the laws of the city? Will the prosecutor act when there is evidence that Cleveland, Ohio, or constitutional law has been broken? Because telling residents we don't cooperate with ICE does not protect them. It does not stop unlawful entry and detention. It does not stop violence. It does not deter future abuse. Enforcement is the deterrent. The laws of Cleveland exist to protect the people of Cleveland. They only work if the city is willing to enforce them, even when it involves federal government. It is winter now, but soon it will be spring, then summer, then fall, when the people of Cleveland will vote in an election that the oligarchy, the ultra-rich that control this country, will pay close attention to. So what is your plan to protect the people of Cleveland when they go out to vote, when they even leave their homes? Because ICE is not only targeting immigrants, because history shows that the first targets are rarely the last. So I'm asking you, Mayor Bibb, Law Director Mark Griffin, Safety Director Dornat Drummond, Police Chief Dorothy Todd, all members of City Council, will you or will you not enforce the law to protect the people of Cleveland? Thank you.
Next we have Andre Daly. Andre Daly is from Collinwood, Ward 10. Mr. Daly is here to talk about a moratorium on short-term rentals. He's not representing anyone and not being paid by anyone. Mr. Daly, you have the floor.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me? Yeah. My name is Andre Daly. I'm from Ward 10, the new Ward 10, the old Ward 8. Came down to council today because I was curious about what was going on with the possibility for us to have a moratorium on short-term rentals, like Airbnb, for example. Sorry, I've been sitting here so long and it's so hot in here, I forgot what I was gonna say. But no, when I saw those kids earlier today, all those young athletes and those young scholars, I thought, what dream are we preserving for them? Is there gonna be an American dream for them? Are they gonna be able to buy a house one day? Or is that no longer gonna be a possibility? And I don't wanna say for some people, they don't really care, but you know, it kinda looks that way. So as I said, my name is Andre Daly. I'm here tonight to ask this council to move forward legislation to place a moratorium on short-term rentals like Airbnb and VROB. 59% of Clevelanders are renters. We want to see those people get into homes eventually, not continue to rent. SRTs bring noise and safety concerns while competing with residents for housing, reducing the supply of long-term rentals, which drives up rents and home prices, hollowing neighborhoods. This has drawn investors, including absentee landlords, displacing long-term residents. These activities disproportionately affect areas already impacted by low home ownership. Passing a moratorium on SRTs can can negate some of the harm done, while aiming to preserve the character of our communities, protect long-term housing, and ensure fair play for traditional hospitality businesses like hotels, which we also just saw on the news. We can't keep those open downtown either. Our housing stock should not solely be looked at as a commercial venture, right? Some of y'all are capitalists to the core. If somebody's making $1, you know, everybody's for it. I'm not that type of person. It's more important that we get neighbors and residents and people into these homes, not a company to buy it. Cities have already passed legislation banning and curtailing this activity. I'm asking this council to take action to preserve the American dream. And then in closing, I want to say thank you to City Council for working with Digital C. I got internet after that. I switched from my provider, and I pay $18 a month now for internet through Digital C. So I want to say I'm not being paid by them, as the council president said, but I wanted to say I really appreciate you guys for bringing home the savings. That's what this is about, bringing home the savings. So thank you guys.
Next, we have Joseph Lewis from Beechwood. He's here to ask for a resolution to condemn the Trump administration. He is not representing anyone and not being paid by anyone. Is Joseph Lewis here? Mr. Lewis, you have the floor.
Hello, and thank you. Members of the City Council, I've come to address the recent feeling of deja vu. Just this month, the Trump administration launched a coordinated military assault on Caracas and illegally detained Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, all without consulting our elected representatives, all without consulting us. This isn't the first time the American people have been dragged into another pointless war. We all remember Iraq, Afghanistan, and Vietnam. But all these wasteful wars at least had congressional cooperation or approval. Venezuela did not. And in Trump's own words, this attack was not about national security or bringing democracy. It's about the oil. Oil to enrich his big energy backers while the taxpayer foots the bill yet again. And now the Trump administration has been joking about invading Greenland. Greenland, a territory of Denmark, our NATO ally. This is driving a wedge between the United States and its longtime trade partners. And I want to know, in what world does that help us? In what world does that help Cleveland? Last year, the Trump administration cut funds to Magnet, a nonprofit focused on reshoring industry to Cleveland. They also made additional cuts to SNAP and Medicaid, of which 20% and 30% of county residents, respectively, rely on. Yet again, they have left the American people empty-handed. Yet again, they have left Cleveland to continue rusting. Yet again, there is money for the military, but not for meals or Medicaid. We, the people of Cleveland, must make our voices heard. Please sign PSL's anti-war resolution. Thank you.
Next, we have Heather Hall from Solon, requesting to pass a resolution, no war in Venezuela, from the Cleveland Liberation Center, and is not being paid by anyone. Heather, you have the floor. Heather?
Yes. Good evening, Council and everyone in these chambers. I am honored to be standing here in the People's Hall. My name is Heather Hall. I was born here, went to school here, and lived my whole life here. I'm a volunteer coordinator at the Cleveland Liberation Center and a member of the Party for Socialism and Liberation. I come before you today, first and foremost, to express my deepest grief. I watch horrors unfold daily across the world, our country, and in this very city. A short moment of silence for all political prisoners and victims of state violence, including Renee Nicole Good, who was brutally murdered by ICE last week. I want to now commend Council President Blaine Griffin for his statement denouncing ICE. Council President, you are correct in your assessment that ICE is a government-sanctioned hit squad that must be removed from our city. And I encourage all members of council to align with Council President Griffin and to release your own statements on this very urgent issue and to pass legislation to protect our residents and leverage every legal method you have to protect us. The people of Cleveland and surrounding cities have been in the streets every single day since that brutal murder moved to action by outrage, sorrow, concern, and lucidity about our situation in this country. Please join the people in their correct position. Listen to their needs, and they will support you in return. On January 15th, there will be an organizing meeting regarding this ICE issue at 9801 Denison Avenue. You are welcome to attend and speak with the community. On January 20th, there is a national call to action for students and workers to walk out against ICE. Many opportunities to be involved with the movement. To Mayor Justin Bibb, we implore you to call a press conference with Chief of Police Dorothy Todd and to assure us that ICE will be removed from Cleveland. So, sorry. ICE terror on our streets is not separate from the issue I had originally intended to discuss today. Trump's invasion of Venezuela and ICE terror are not separate issues and are directly and materially connected. When we sanction over there, bomb over there in Caracas, and install puppet dictators, it creates a refugee crisis over here. And this has been the status quo for the United States military for over 50 years. In Bolivia, in Grenada, in Guatemala, in Chile, in Nicaragua, in Haiti, in Panama, and now Venezuela.
Time. Thank you, ma'am.
Pass the resolution. Thank you.
Before I go to the next speaker, I apologize. Miss Foster, no, Joan. Before I go to the next speaker, could Miss Foster, this is a huge mix-up because somebody talked to my press people. Okay? Thank you. All right, this next speaker is Ronald Watkins from Ward 8 Asiatown. A resolution on no war in Venezuela must be passed. And Mr. Watkins is representing the Cleveland Liberation Center and not being paid by anyone. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you. Good day, council members. My name is Ronald Watkins, and for the majority of my life, my mother has worked 2 jobs at once, and my family has tried our best to avoid being placed in Section 8 housing that lacked proper heating or was located in a food desert, like many families we knew. I grew up hearing a certain sentiment. You must go into the military and make a living. Get shaped up, cover your college tuition, secure a well-paying job, and take care of your mother and sister. And I'm sure you've seen a face like mine on the streets. There's plenty of low-income children with wants, wishes, and dreams like me in your libraries, your parks, and your stores. Among most of us, we're sold the same story. Serve in the military and sacrifice your body and sanity just so you can get the chance to live the American dream your family never could. That being said, I will ask, this war on Venezuela, who exactly do you think will be fighting it? You don't have to answer. I understand that most of you imagine some faceless soldiers valiantly fighting on the front lines, holding their guns at their waists and launching missiles into enemies' apartment complexes while saluting the flag. But I need you to realize that this war that will displace millions of Latino men, women, and children will be carried out by desperate, young, black and brown Americans just trying to get a taste of freedom from poverty. Poverty which this current administration, who is calling for war, may never have to experience in their lives. Council members, this conflict is yet another example of the most privileged in this world staging year-long wars and sending teenagers like myself, who grew up poor, to kill and die for them. I truly hope that my presence here shows you how urgent this is. I hope that by being up here, I'm speaking to that father and mother behind the screen or in their seat that took time out of their busy day to watch this. I hope that by coming up here, I'm also speaking to that young person that feels ashamed of their country like I do, motivating them to resist the demands of politicians without their best interests at heart, yet police and make laws around their existence. At the end of the day, you and I know that this isn't just a speech that advances a proposal. This is a call to action. This is a plea not just to you, but also to the people of Cleveland. This is a plea for all those children who will suffer the consequences of America doing what it does best, lying and stealing. I only wish for you to hear my plea and honor it by taking a stand against facades like a war on Venezuela. Thank you. Please pass a resolution.
Please hold on for 1 second. As Property Mastermind is here, ladies and gentlemen, I have strict rules to adhere by speaking. When we start to break those rules, we create a problem where other people will expect to be all over the place with these rules. So I'm trying to be fair to everybody. Is Property Mastermind here? Could Property Mastermind please come to the mic, because I want to be fair. But please, everybody keep in mind, I have strict guidelines to adhere to so that I can be fair with everybody. And I usually do not allow any substitutions, and the only reason I'm doing this because the only thing we had was Property Mastermind.
Gotcha.
We didn't have names,
Yes.
okay? So please give your names so that we can make sure that we're clear when we do that. You have the floor, Ms. Russell.
Good evening, Council. My name is Clarissa Foster. I am the owner of Mastermind Your Business, LLC, a full-service management firm located right here in the great city of Cleveland. I sit on the board of New Point Community Development, and I'm 100% invested in this city, professionally, personally, and permanently. Mastermind manages residential homes, apartment buildings, commercial properties, nearly 500 across greater Cleveland. In July of 2024, we were introduced to the Home for Every Neighbor program by Lutheran Metropolitan Ministries. We saw an opportunity to support the mayor's initiative to combat homelessness and this city council's initiative, the council that supported this financially. So we were one of the first landlords to house nearly 60 unhoused citizens. LMM, as well as H4EN staff, praised our units in writing as clean, safe, and refreshing. As part of our participation, we were told rent will be paid, damages reimbursed, wraparound services provided. Initially, those commitments were honored. Unfortunately, that is no longer the case. Following staff decline and programmatic changes, the program has become inconsistent and unaccountable. Rent payments stopped with no notice, reimbursement stopped. We were instructed to hold interim repair invoices until participants vacated with assurances they would be addressed. They were not. Policies are not applied consistently. Some participants have rents terminated without notice to Mastermind, but continue to reside, while other original 2024 participants remain housed and continue to have their rents paid month to month. There is no uniform standard and no transparency. I know this is an easy job for anyone, and quite frankly, it's exhausting, but there needs to be accountability and program changes in order to see real positive change. Despite leases continuing lawfully month to month, payments were cut without notice. As of today, approximately $9,400 in unpaid rent just for January, and $10,700 in unreimbursed old damage repairs from mid-2025. Excluding recent vandalism and theft, my landlords are suffering financial hardship while the program continues without accountability. I am formally asking that the mayor's office in this county hold a public hearing on H4EN to include program leadership and participating landlords to examine how funds are administered and why this program is failing. And the bigger question to tackle is how can we make it a success? And I'm going to be here until the end. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Councilman Harsh, could you please raise your hand? I'm going to ask if you guys at some point in time can talk with Councilman Harsh as well. so that we can have an understanding of the deaf and breath for this, okay? Thank you. All right, that concludes public comment. We'll now move to communications. Madam Clerk.
File number 5, 2026, oath of office for Justin Morris Bibb, Mayor of City of Cleveland. File number 6, 2026, oath of office for Joy Anderson, Interim Director of Department of Community Development, City of Cleveland. File number 8, 2026, from Office of Mayor Justin M. Bibb, notice of grant acceptance from Jack Joseph and Morton Mandel Foundation of $5,000 in support of the Junior Mayors Association. File number 72, 2026, from Council President Blaine A. Griffin, designating without objection by Council Vakita Stiggers to serve as Clerk of Council Pro Tem for all matters requiring the clerk's signature on December 15, 2025 to January 5th, 2026, and for the council meeting on January 5th, 2026.
Madam Clerk, please hold. Sir, who is passing out that information, could you please pass that out in the hallway? We have rules to not pass out any signage or any of that literature inside the well. Thank you. Madam Clerk, please proceed.
File number 73, 2026, from Council President Blaine A. Griffin, designating without objection by Council Vakita Stiggers to serve as Clerk of Council Pro Tem for all matters requiring the clerk's signature on January 13th, 14th, 27th, and 28th, 2026. File number 7, 2026, dedication plat for Lake Avenue Townhomes Subdivision Project located at south side of Lake Avenue between West Boulevard and Clifton Boulevard, Ward 11. Approved by Committees on Municipal Services and Properties and Development Planning and Sustainability. Without objection, plat approved. From the Ohio Division of Liquor Control, file number 9, 2026, regarding a new license application at 4166 East 71st Street, Ward 2. File number 10, 2026, regarding a new license application at 4025 Harvard Business LLC, 4025 East 131st Street, Ward 2. File number 11, 2026, regarding a transfer of ownership application at United Convenient Market, 6206 Broadway Avenue, Ward 3. File number 12, 2026, regarding a stock application at 4810 State Road, Ward 4. File number 13, 2026, regarding a transfer of license application at 8302 Carnegie Avenue, Ward 6. File number 14, 2026, regarding a stock application at 1300 East 9th Street, Ward 8. File number 15, 2026, regarding a new license application at 11311 Euclid Avenue, Ward 9. File number 16, 2026, regarding a transfer of ownership application at 6501 Dennison Avenue, Ward 11. File number 17, 2026, regarding a transfer of license application at 4189 Ridge Road, Ward 11. File number 18, 2026, regarding a new license application at 3890 West 140th Street, Ward 13. File number 19, 2026, regarding a new license application at 3259 West 25th Street, Ward 14. File number 2026, regarding a transfer of ownership application at 4322 Clark Avenue, Ward 14. File number 21, 2026, regarding a transfer of ownership application at 5300 Riverside Drive, Terminal C, Ward 15. File number 22, 2026, regarding a transfer of ownership application at 5300 Riverside Drive, Terminal A, Ward 15.
Thank you. Are there any condolence resolutions?
Resolutions of condolence by Councilmember Griffin for Eula Adams Fulton, by Councilmember Griffin for Bruce Cornell Ramsey, by Councilmember Griffin for Cedric Dion Stanford, by Councilmember Casey for Robert James Jim Prock, by Councilmember Casey for Linda Mae Creon, by Councilmember Polensek for Joseph Anthony Papura, by Councilmember Casey for Stephen J. Gall, by Councilmember Griffin for Gerald Reynolds, by Councilmember Griffin for Doris Turner, by Councilmember Bishop for Norma Bridges Downs Ashig, by Councilmember Griffin for Oliver Pudge Carl Hinkle, by Councilmember House Jones for Pastor Rufus Webb, by Councilmember Harsh for Thomas F. Meyer, by Councilmember House Jones for Robert Carl Wakefield, by Councilmember Griffin for Michael Eugene Gibbons, by Councilmember Griffin for Milagros Beltran, by Councilmember Jones for Rashida Eugene Douglas Sr., by Councilmember Starr for Emerald Inez Vanderhost, by Councilmember Jones for Jean Red, by Councilmember Jones for Marcia Louise Johnson, by Councilmember Jones for Connie Washington.
Thank you. The chair will acknowledge Austin Davis.
Thank you, Chair. To the clerk, could we hold out a number for Renee Nicole Good, the U.S. citizen who was killed in Minneapolis by ICE last week?
Thank you so much, Mr. Davis, Councilman Davis. The chair will acknowledge Councilman Charles Slife.
Thank you. Please add me to that if that's okay with Councilman Davis, as well as please hold out a number for Catherine Waters.
So noted.
Thank you. I would also like to be added to Councilman Davis's resolution. Any other council members? Councilwoman Nikki Hudson, Councilman Tanmay Shaw. If any other Councilwoman Stephanie House Jones, Councilman Brian Casey. Any objection to all council members being added to Councilman Davis's resolution? Seeing no objections, if all council can be added to Councilman Davis's resolution, thank you so much. Are there any other condolence resolutions? Seeing no other condolence resolutions, will all council members rise for a moment of silence? Thank you. Are there any recognition resolutions?
Resolutions of congratulations by Councilmember Griffin for Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity on their Founders Day, by Councilmember House Jones for Brianta Spencer, by Councilmember Slife for Lisa Gambin, by Councilmember Jones for General Joseph Berger, by Councilmember Griffin for the Nu Theta Zeta, by Councilmember Griffin for the Gamma Alpha Zeta, by Councilmember Griffin for Zeta Phi Beta Sorority, by Councilmember Griffin for Gamma Delta Zeta, by Councilmember Griffin for Patricia Jones, LSW, by Councilmember Griffin for Abdullah Mason. Resolutions of recognition by Councilmember Griffin for Honorary Consul General Diana Thimig, by Councilmember Conwell for University Circle Police Department.
Thank you. We'll move to first reading. Emergency ordinances referred for administrative review and committee review.
Ordinance 25, 2026 by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request. Authorizing Director of Finance on behalf of Cleveland Municipal Clerk of Courts to apply for and accept a grant from State Justice Institute to conduct the Continuity of Operations Plan, and authorizing the Director to enter into one or more contracts with the National Center for the State Courts to establish and execute the plan. Ordinance 26, 2026 by Councilmembers Polensek and Griffin by departmental request. Authorizing directors of public safety or law to apply for and accept grants from Cuyahoga County Public Safety and Justice Services for fiscal year 2025 Stop Violence Against Women Act program for a sexual assault advocate and for the law enforcement and prosecution components of the Cleveland Domestic Violence Program, and authorizing one or more contracts with Cleveland Rape Crisis Center and other entities to implement the grants. Ordinance 27, 2026 by Councilmember Conwell by departmental request, designating Mount Moriah Baptist Church as a Cleveland landmark. Ordinance 28, 2026 by Councilmembers Santana and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing Director of Development to enter into an option to lease an option to lease agreement for a period up to 1 year with Penrose Holdings LLC or its designee for city-owned property located at 4242 Lorraine Avenue for future redevelopment. Ordinance 29, 2026 by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Human Resources to employ one or more professional consultants to develop and implement a comprehensive management training program. Ordinance 30, 2026 by Council Members Casey and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the purchase by one or more requirement contracts of valves, actuators, and appurtenances and labor and materials needed to repair, replace, maintain, exercise, and test existing valves, valve actuators, and valve appurtenances, and to provide related services for the Division of Water, Department of Public Utilities for a period of 2 years. Ordinance 31, 2026 by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Finance on behalf of the Office of Prevention, Intervention, and Opportunity to enter into one or more contracts with Youth Opportunities Unlimited for the administration, implementation, and management of the City of Cleveland Summer 2026 Youth and Young Adult Employment Program, and authorizing one or more contracts with public entities, individuals, or communities for purposes of implementing the program for a period of 18 months with 2 options to renew, exercisable by the Director of Finance. Ordinance 32, 2026 by Council Members Davis, Conwell, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing Director of Public Health to enter into a lease by way of concession with Neighborhood Health Care, Inc., DBA Neighborhood Family Practice, for the purpose of providing medical and clinical physician services at Community Health Center at 2358 Professor Avenue for a term of 1 year. Ordinance 33, 2026 by Council Members Bishop and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the purchase by one or more requirement contracts of residential carts, street receptacles, and compactors for the Division of Waste Collection and Disposal, Department of Public Works, for a period of up to 3 years. Ordinance 34, 2026 by Council Members Bishop, Slife, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Capital Projects to enter into a lease and right of entry agreement granting the National Railroad Passenger Corporation, also known as Amtrak or its designee, the right to use and occupy city-owned property located adjacent to the Cleveland Memorial Shoreway to operate its rail passenger station for a period of 2 years, continuing month to month thereafter, and to make the public improvement of installing and maintaining Americans with Disabilities Act compliant improvements at the site. Ordinance 35, 2026 by Council Members Santana, Bishop, Slife, and Griffin by departmental request, giving consent of the City of Cleveland to the Director of Transportation of the State of Ohio to rehabilitate the old Detroit Road Bridge, accepting gifts and grants, acquiring, accepting, and recording necessary rights of way, and authorizing agreements. Ordinance 36, 2026 by Council Members House Jones, Bishop, and Griffin by departmental request, giving consent of the City of Cleveland to the Director of Transportation of the State of Ohio to construct multimodal transportation enhancements along East 66th Street from Chester Avenue to Superior Avenue, accepting gifts and grants, acquiring, accepting, and recording necessary rights of way, authorizing agreements, and causing payment to the state for the city's share of the improvement. Ordinance 71, 2026 by Council Members Bishop, Slife, and Griffin by departmental request, giving consent of the City of Cleveland to the Director of Transportation of the State of Ohio to construct the improvement to CUY Memorial Bridges Loop Project, accepting gifts and grants, acquiring, accepting, and recording necessary rights of way, authorizing agreements, and causing payment to the State of Ohio for the city's share of the improvement.
Thank you. We'll go to first reading emergency resolutions to be adopted.
Resolution 23, 2026 by Councilmember Bishop, objecting to a new C1 liquor permit at 4025 East 131st Street. Resolution 24, 2026 by Councilmember Griffin, objecting to the transfer of location of a C1, C2 liquor permit at 8302 Carnegie Avenue.
Read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Hudson, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage, seconded by Councilmember Davis.
Call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson, Jones, Casey, Polensek, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Starr. 14 yeas.
Call the roll on adoption.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson, Jones, Casey, Polensek, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Starr. 14 yeas.
Second reading, emergency ordinances to be passed.
Ordinance 1507, 2025, as amended by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request to amend Section 171.40 of the codified ordinances relating to the use of city credit cards.
Read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Hudson, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage, seconded by Councilmember Davis.
Call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson, Jones, Casey, Polensek, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Starr. 14 yeas.
Thank you. Call the roll on passage.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson, Jones, Casey, Polensek, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Starr. 14 yeas.
Thank you. Legislation to be tabled.
Ordinance 1108, 2025 by Councilmembers Polensek and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Safety to enter into an amendment to a lease agreement with Cuyahoga County for the lease of certain space located on various floors of the Justice Center to extend the term for 1 additional year beginning October 2nd, 2025, with 1-year option to renew, exercisable by the Director of Public Safety.
Call the roll on approval of tabling.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson, Jones, Casey, Polensek, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Starr. 14 yeas.
Thank you. We'll move to introductions. Are there any introductions? Councilmember Michael Polensek. Oh, okay. Any introductions? Seeing no introductions, we'll now move to announcements. Any council member, I know that I sent this out to you, or anybody want to come to the party of the year? I don't do holiday parties, but I do kick off the new year with a great Ward 6 celebration. If you guys want to come and enjoy Ward 6 family, you're more than welcome to come over and hang out with the Ward 6 family, okay? It's tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock, Fair Hill Partners, 12200 Fair Hill Boulevard, exactly at the corner of East 124th and Fair Hill, okay? Thank you. Any other announcements? Councilman Michael Polensek and then Councilwoman Stephanie House-Jones. Just, all you gotta do is hold your finger on it like you're taking a fingerprint. There it is. Hold your finger on it like you're taking a fingerprint. Don't even push it. There it is. Councilman Conwell, there it is. Here it is. Somebody help out Polensek. Conwell, could you see if that mic works for Polensek? Just, all you gotta do is press your finger on it. Don't press down, just put your finger on it. Then do Polensek, so he could just put his finger on it. Mic training is going to be tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, man, let me tell you. Well, since we're on this subject, I will tell you that when the speakers were at the mic, I couldn't figure out half what they were saying. There's an echo in here. And so I don't know if the speakers have been arranged, but with the old system we had, understand what people were saying. All 7 of them, I'd say over half what they said, I couldn't figure out what they were saying.
We got to bring in technology. We'll work with the team to bring the technology.
Okay, that's critical. Now, I don't know if people in the gallery, if they're hearing it better, but I can tell you up here, we're not hearing it the way we need to hear. Wednesday at 10 o'clock, Safety Committee will be meeting to discuss Tanisha's Law. So those of you who are interested in having that discussion, we're going to go over the entire piece of legislation that is pending before us, and also we're going to get an update on staffing levels, Mr. Chairman, within the Division of Police. This is important as we move toward the budget. As you all know, we budgeted the hiring of 180 officers in last year's budget. And so I'm concerned, like all of us are, as it pertains to staffing levels. So we'll have that presentation as well Wednesday at 10 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Stephanie House-Jones.
Yes, good evening. I just wanted to extend an invitation out to individuals for the first meeting of the Cleveland Commission on Black Women and Girls, which will be tomorrow, Tuesday, January 13th at 5 p.m. in room 514.
Thank you. Any other announcements? Seeing no other announcements, we'll move to miscellaneous. Is there any miscellaneous? Councilman Charles Slifen and Councilman Kevin Conwell.
Thank you. And yeah, to echo Councilman Polensek, especially those 2 microphones, but entirely it has the acoustics of a kind of a McDonald's bathroom. So if we could figure that out, it's really difficult to hear. So Council President, last week during our swearing in, we were each given remarks. I obviously spoke about the importance of city services, and kind of jumping off of that, and also more specifically within my role, thank you, as chairing our Committee on Transportation and Mobility. I want to kind of give a little bit of information. There's going to be a memo followed up tomorrow for the administration, as well as some information out from communications. But just to sort of set the stage, in October, County Executive Ronayne and Mayor Bibb released a joint letter to different federal officials, essentially requesting assistance and support for an eventual decommissioning of Burke Airport. I won't read the entire letter, it is lengthy, but essentially this is seen as 450 acres of waterfront that can have public access and job creation, and it closes by saying, we can deliver a nationally significant waterfront district, one that drives economic growth, expands public access to Lake Erie, and creates opportunities for generations to come. I'm not disagreeing with that, but in my opinion, and I've been around this building for, I think this is going to be my 16th year, which is wild. My opinion is that Clevelanders have become very frustrated over the decades by the number of glossy pictures we've had of lakefront development. And again, in my opinion, I don't think we've done enough critical analysis of how to accomplish that over the years. And the frustration people see is it feels like another bait and switch. And I don't want that to happen again. So in this letter, it said, we look forward to accelerating this vision together. And as the chair of the committee that would have to vote first and foremost on such a move, I want to slow down for a moment, not to be obstructive, but just because I want to get this right. Either we end up with another glossy picture that we were unable to accomplish, or worse yet, I do worry that there's lakefront development, but does it move the needle for the day-to-day residents of the city of Cleveland? Is it giving new revenue for city services, or is it just something that becomes a drain on the budget? And I'll say the most vocal voices in favor of closing the airport, I think, make it sound like a silver bullet for the future of Cleveland, and I think those that oppose it over-exaggerate the importance of it to the larger regional air network. So this is really this is a fact-finding mission. So what I would like to do, and again, we'll send this information out, but beginning next week at our first Transportation Committee meeting, I want to have over this semester, for lack of better words, essentially 4 hearings in transportation and mobility that focus on what I think are 4 important aspects. One is are just the expenses and obstacles to developing the lakefront. There are state and local regulatory obstacles to overcome. There's a lack of public utilities and challenging for any developer to obtain financing. And I want us to understand how we would need to subsidize such a development and where that money would come from and sort of the opportunity cost of that money going towards a project and would it have a spillover benefit for the city. I also, on February 4th, want to talk about Burke in the budget. I don't think we talk enough about how Burke is in an enterprise fund. If we spin Burke out of an enterprise fund, port control, for whatever, for a park, for development, that's now hitting the general fund in a way that Burke does not right now. So we can say Burke doesn't create revenue for the city, but it's not jeopardizing city services because it's not coming out of the general fund. I think that the residents are owed a thorough discussion of how to close an airport, just the procedures you go through. And then, because I think there's an eagerness just to do what happened in Chicago and close the airport tomorrow, and is that prudent or is a more generalized wind down more advantageous? And then lastly, 450 acres is a lot of land, and we are a stagnant population region that, and I worry about the ability for this market to absorb such a large piece of real estate and for our Public Works and Parks Department to absorb such a large amount of could be potentially parkland. So long story, I know I'm going over my time, but this body could be asked to make a very critical decision in the coming months and years, and I don't think that we've had a full community conversation about this. We've just looked at pretty pictures, and I think that this body and the people we represent are owed a more exhaustive conversation on the topic. What I don't want to happen is this body is presented with a choice of whether or not we support closing the airport, and we're expected to make that choice absent this deeper conversation. So I will summarize all of that in a memo for colleagues and the administration, and we'll do all of this between now and when we go into recess after Memorial Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. I look forward to your body and your committee really delving into that. I have next up in this order, Councilman Brian Casey, Councilwoman Nikki Hudson, and then Councilman Polensek again.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I have some prepared remarks tonight. Before we do that, and we get a lot of people that come down here, and they bash us, they bash the jobs we do, but I want to give a shout out because currently right now on the near west side of Cleveland, we're dealing with a situation with CPP at the substation. But what people don't see is they didn't see the Director of Public Utilities run out of here. They don't see the Commissioner of Cleveland Public Power run out of here. They won't see me drive to the scene as soon as we're done here. They don't see every CPP crew currently that is on board heading that way to make sure that our residents are taken care of. So I just want to give a shout out to the Department of Public Utilities and what they're currently going through tonight in a 30-degree temperature and what they're going to do in order to get those residents their power back on. But Mr. President, members of Cleveland City Council, Mayor, as the chair of Council's Utility Committee, I rise tonight to speak on the latest attempt by Ohio's worst corporate citizen, First Energy, to once again abuse the public. As we've all seen in the news, First Energy has asked the PUCO to lower state standards to allow more frequent power outages and take longer to fix them, as we currently have every crew we have on scene within an hour. Let me repeat that. They want the right to inflict more power outages on their customers and then take longer to fix them. They are asking Ohio to lower its standards to allow them to provide even poorer performances. This proposal is an outrage. It's a slap in the face of every Clevelander and everyone else who relies on the electricity First Energy provides. It's a cruel joke from a company that has repeatedly proven it could care less about its customers. First Energy admits it's failing Ohioans. In general, the company's reliability performance has worsened since 2019, they said. But instead of fixing its problems and improving its performance, First Energy wants Ohio to lower its standards. Think about what would happen if we lowered safety standards for construction companies that repeatedly failed to meet them. We'd have buildings collapsing, people dying, and someone would probably be going to jail. What First Energy has proposed is even worse because it will put millions more people at risk. All of us rely on electricity, but for some, it's a matter of life and death. It's essential for things like heating, cooling, medical equipment, and refrigeration. Electrical outages can cause spoiled food, unsafe living conditions, disrupted work and school, and serious health risks for our most vulnerable residents. The longer the outage, the greater the risk. Sometimes people die. So of course, First Energy wants the PUCO to approve more and longer power outages. It's irresponsible on a scale that's hard to describe. First Energy's last decade is a hit parade of abuse. First, ratepayers have paid First Energy more than $1.1 billion since 2017 to ensure reliable electricity service, only to see our grids deteriorate. Second, First Energy funneled millions of dollars into the largest bribery and racketeering scheme in Ohio history. They gave $60 million to the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Larry Householder, and in return, he passed a bill handing $1.3 billion in public funds to bail out First Energy's failing nuclear power plants. Householder was sentenced to 20 years in jail, and 2 First Energy executives were indicted. First Energy broke the law, and just last week, it was ordered to pay $275 million in restitution to its customers. And third, to add insult to injury, they continue to raise prices at rates Clevelanders can't afford. What does First Energy get from all this? Last year, their gross profit was roughly $9 billion. First Energy has repeatedly proven that ethics, morality, and the law will never stand in the way of making money at our expense. Ratepayers deserve reliable, safe, and affordable electric service that doesn't put families, seniors, small businesses, and critical infrastructure at work. We cannot trust First Energy to provide it. If the PUCO approves First Energy's request, it will have abdicated its responsibilities and put all of us at risk. I urge the PUCO to reject this proposal and demand accountability and the commitment to reliable power for everyday households and businesses in Cleveland and Ohio. I'm again calling on the PUCO to launch a comprehensive public investigation into the persistent blue sky outages affecting customers in Cleveland, Lakewood, surrounding suburbs, in Ohio. Mr. Chairman, I could just imagine that Cleveland Public Power, what we could do with that kind of money. We've been able to keep the lights on, we've been able to work hard, and we've done it with 1 rate increase in 40 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Nikki Hudson.
Thank you, Mr. President. This morning, I received the unfortunate news that a woman, a pedestrian, was struck and killed by a car at West 73rd and Clark Avenue. And it's heartbreaking. My condolences go to her family and friends. And it's also very striking to me that one of the most repetitive requests that I've gotten in my first week on the job has been for speed tables and traffic calming. So I just implore the residents of the city of Cleveland and the people who drive to our city to come to work, please slow down. Please put your phones down and pay attention. There are children walking to school. There are people walking to the bus stop. It is not that important for you to rush to get to where you're going. You can put your phone down. You can deal with that when you get to where you're going. People's lives are at stake. The vehicle that you are driving is a lethal weapon, and it is far too often that we are seeing pedestrians, cyclists get hit and killed. And I would like to, and these traffic calming elements, it's to save people from themselves. And really, we just need to be responsible adults. I have a teenage driver in my home, and I have taught her, my husband and I have taught her what a responsibility it is to drive a car. And I would like for the residents, and not just of Cleveland, but the people who travel to our city, to take that responsibility seriously. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Michael Polisic.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, honorable mayor. I want to rise, and I hope that as now we're getting into the swing of things with the committee process, I would hope, and I've talked to Councilman Starr about this, that if we can schedule a meeting with Dr. Morgan to come over before his committee and make an official presentation about building brighter futures, their new plan that I have great concerns about, CMSD. Mr. Chairman, my ward, I'm already the recipient of a mailing by one of the charter schools into my ward seeking students to leave CMSD to go into their charter school. I expect this to be the beginning of a wide variety of schools that are on the fringe of my community charter schools in the city of Euclid, East Cleveland, but also was been made aware by folks at the Board of Election that the proposed closing of 2 newer buildings within my community will leave those neighborhoods without a voting location for the first time in over 100 years. So not only am I concerned about students, now my voters are going to be disenfranchised because there's going to be no place to vote in the St. Clair corridor and in the Euclid Avenue corridor. We see what's happening in Columbus. We see what's happening across the community, this country, with voter suppression. And now we're going to be faced with it in our own city, voter suppression, because of schools being closed, critical schools in neighborhoods. So, Mr. Chairman, I'm hoping that through Councilman Starr's committee, I know he has concerns and questions along with other members, that we can start to begin that process. We need to understand the long-term implications of what's being proposed. As I've said publicly, I believe the plan has not been well thought out. I believe there's critical components of it that are going to negatively impact our communities, and I'm worried about 2 critical neighborhoods in my ward being totally destabilized as a result of 2 elementary schools being closed. Not to speak of historic Collinwood High School, it's a historic landmark, but those 2 elementary schools, that's where people vote on the northeast side, and now they're going to be proposed to be closed, and they'll be closed for the November election. So I'm looking forward to Councilman Starr holding those committee hearings. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Next, we have Councilwoman House Jones.
I am going to work to make this quick. First, one of the things is I was able to hear the press conference that Sheriff Rochelle Bilal did out of Philadelphia last week, and it really inspired me to really put in a request to the administration. As we know about the dealings of ICE here in our country, it is very important for us to, number one, have very clear communications. We need to get clear communications out to our residents to understand not only their rights, but to understand what is the expectation if you engage with ICE, right? Again, is someone who's dressed in some uniforms able to just come and snatch you and demand all these things? We literally need to know, according to the Constitution, what are citizens' rights? From there, if they are approached by individuals that are covering their faces with no IDs, are those things legal, right? And if they are not, what is the responsibility of our community working with our own sheriff, working with our own police department, working with our own law department to then work to hold people accountable? Because again, there are some basic things, there are some disturbing things that are happening throughout this country that unfortunately probably will be here at our doorsteps, and we need to do everything that we can to ensure that Clevelanders are prepared, they know their rights, and that they will not be violated regardless if it's the federal government or not. I think there are some tragic things that are happening, have happened, and will continue to happen, but we as the people collectively can fight back against this. You know, we cannot take this idly, and so I'm appreciative of the voice of Sheriff Bilal for speaking truth to power so that many of us can know there are things that we can do. Secondly, and then on the lighter note, I really wanted to extend a mighty congratulations to the beautiful women, my sisters of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, as on Thursday, January 15th, we will be celebrating 118 years as we are soaring to greater heights of sisterhood, service and sisterhood. So again, this is the mighty month of January for many distinguished members of the Denying Nine for their Founders Day. And so congratulations also to the women of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Y'all coming up, but you know, say hello to your sister. All right, thank you.
I had Mr. Davis. Did you? Okay. I don't have any more comments. Therefore, Madam Clerk, please excuse the absences. Oh, I'm sorry, Councilman. Okay, Councilman Kevin Conwell. I'm still learning the system. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's because I had Glenville down, man. That's where you, those children need to know that they can count on us. And that's what children need to see, Brian. That means a lot. And even last year, when they didn't win the state championship and they were runner-up, we brought them down here. And they remember that, and they talked about that. We did. We brought them down here. And so we showed them that we still had their back, right, that we cared. And they're winners in our hearts. Many of times in my neighborhood, the children walk the streets and they have idle hands. And I really meant that when I talked with them about, you know, all of them would not make the NFL, but they love football, they love basketball, they love sports. Like I mentioned, like you did, sports management. I want them to be able, if they're not on the field, to at least, and Ted told me there's some back there that I didn't see because he's there with me more. You know, I went one time, I took a look and saw I didn't see us there. But I want us to be there, the young African-American males and females and people of color, brown as well, to be in that system of dealing with local store marketing and accounting and purchasing and procurement. You know, when I see the children in the neighborhood with idle hands and we see crime in the Glenville community, they look at us. And they were very happy when they were down here, Council President and Mayor. Matter of fact, when they saw you, Mayor, I'm glad when they see you, they see someone else. So, you know, me, I could be their grandparent, but they see you could be their older brother. But that's not saying something bad about you. That's good. Children have to see success every single day, and we have to open it up. So when they see you as a young mayor, they say, I got possibilities. And that's very, very important that they can see that. So I want to thank this body for opening up to children and opening up to Glenville, and it made me, and it warmed my heart. And that's all I had to say. Oh, and Angela Woodson, she's doing a great, oh, there you are. She's doing a great job. I talked with her over the weekend about the schools. Michael, we're looking to put together a committee so that we can integrate Glenville with Collinwood, and so that way we can keep down, hopefully we don't have any issues or concerns. I don't want to say the other word, but Angela is with me, and I didn't see your guy you were talking about, Director Woodson, but I'll get with you on Wednesday after the safety committee, because they got to see adults there, just like they saw us down here caring. They have to see us in the neighborhood caring, and that's important. So I'll get with you, and you're doing a great job. Thank you, Director Woodson.
Thank you. I just want to make one quick announcement. Everybody, please be on time. We really, really want to be prompt this year. So for committees and council meetings, please be on time so that we can be efficient. Madam Clerk, please excuse the absences.
By Councilmember Hudson, that the absence of Councilmember Santana is hereby excused, seconded by Councilmember Davis.
Thank you. This committee is adjourned to the call of the chair. The next meeting of council will be on January the 26th, 2026. Thank you.